Well, hello, welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are with my friend Scott Fullerton, Youngstown, Ohio. How are you, Scott?
I'm fantastic, Matt. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. You and I go way back, and it's interesting. Way before I was doing any of this stuff, I was just doing my traditional LGBT marketing and so forth. But you were
Mhm.
out there just really pushing some of the boundaries in this new media world with your podcast, Left of Straight.
Well, thank you. I started, God, it's been 8 years now, and I started on a whim. My dad had gotten really sick, and I had to move back home to take care of him, and he was sleeping all the time. So I needed something to do with my time while he was sleeping. I was listening to podcasts like Del Shores and Emerson Collins and everything, doing some great stuff. And I thought, let's kind of dip my toe in. It was still kind of new, or at least not too many LGBT podcasts at the time. That's always been a passion of mine.
Yeah.
So
Well,
decided to try it, and it's been fun ever since.
I was going to say you must have done more than dip your toe in it because you've even had Del Shores on your show, right?
One of my favorites. Dell is so much fun to talk to. For those that aren't familiar with his Sordid Lives trilogy now, back at the time it was one. Now he's done three different versions of it. And yeah, he's become a great friend of the show and a great friend of mine. In fact, I'm probably going out to see him in October. His Del Shores Foundation is sponsoring the star for Leslie Jordan on the Walk of Fame in Palm Springs
Oh,
in
wow.
October. So
Wow. But I mean, you've had because it's a small world in the LGBT, not just business world, but just our world in general. I mean, you've had Jason Stewart, and being from LA originally, I know him very well, and you've had some really good names on your show.
Well, thanks. I've it's honestly been very lucky. Like 8 years ago, you and I know social media was still relatively young. You could actually reach out to people through Twitter, and Instagram was barely happening. They'd actually get back to you. And so you'd ask them to be on the show. And of course, the LGBTQ community has always been kind of underrepresented in media sometimes,
Yeah.
less in our own. So a lot of celebrities and personalities were just very kind and generous and agreed to come on the show early on.
Yeah. When you just said that, you reminded me. I'm sure both of us remember Friendster and MySpace, and now over the
Right.
last less than a week here, where you and I know you're there. We're both on Threads.
That's an interesting thing. I'm feeling too old for it, but yeah, I just don't know if I can handle another social media, to be honest with you, Matt. But you gotta be on there when you're in the media world. You need to make sure you're where the pulse is. And I think 10 million or something jillion
A
people
hundred
in
million.
100 million in 5 days. That's incredible.
It is. It is. It's insane. But it also shows because I'm gonna create another video later that talks about the fact that, I mean, think about it. Back in the day when there were just snaps, and then they became kind of stories, and then there was TikToks, which have become reels and shorts. But nothing has ever really become from tweets. They've always it's just been one platform. But for the very first time now, it's kind of spun off.
Right.
Well, I don't know what we're going to call them, but that whole world of threads and tweets, that it really shows by getting 100 million folks into an app that's all by itself. It's not integrated in the others. It really shows the power, but it shows that it's going to be a very interesting ride over the next year or two to see where all this goes.
It really is. And the fun thing now, I mean, I've never been on the inside before, the beginning of something. And so the companies don't have their ad budget set for it. And so it's still very ad free, and it's really just
Yep.
content based on the people in there. So that's been kind of fun for me to be able to see everyone just kind of go from scratch and just actually talk real things and not have to go with every other thing being sponsored, right?
Oh, I hear you. No, it's good. It's gonna be fun for a little while. So, but even back to you and all that stuff. I mean, because I noticed, like I said, you're on there is another touch point, is what I would call it. But you've got because you've done some great things right now. You've got things like rainbow rundowns and so forth. But you've also done something that I thought that was very cool when you went to Palm Springs, and you've had your big gay road trips.
That was very exciting. And Pink Media was nice my third year to be a media sponsor and kind of get the word out. But I got very lucky. I invited the owner of a gay resort down in Palm Springs to be on my show to kind of talk about different things you can do during the summer.
Yeah.
And we just struck up a friendship over the course of the interview. And he said, well, why don't you bring your show down for a month? And I will. Palm Springs, we know, is about 8,000 degrees on June, July, and August. So he
Yep.
said, if you want to come down for a month, one of those 3 months, I'd be more than happy to host you and host some guests you might want to bring in. So I turned into this big gay road trip from Ohio, Northeast Ohio, where I'm based, all the way to Palm Springs, kind of stopped at little gay events along the way,
Yeah.
and then did a month worth of shows live from Palm Springs. It was a wonderful time.
Oh, I love hearing that. As a side note, that's one of my favorite places.
Oh,
I don't live on the West Coast anymore, but being from LA originally, I've been to Palm Springs many, many times.
right. Oh, it's a beautiful place. I mean, like I said, it's warm in the summer, but it's
Yeah.
beautiful the rest of the time. I mean, they don't even do their Pride Festival till November when it finally cools down
I know.
enough for that to happen.
I'm going to be there, by the way, just putting a mental note out there. I'm going to be there for Pride this year, but we're also going to work together with Brad over at Gay Desert Guide and KG 106.5. And we're gonna host a kind of an event and do some stuff to bring folks together there right before Pride.
Oh, let me know. I'd love to come down for that. Like I said, I'm going to be there late October. I think I talked about Leslie Jordan's Star event. I think it's going to be the week before Pride. Be
Oh,
Leslie's Jordan Star on the Walk of Fame. So I'm going to try to make a week or two out of it then.
yeah,
But
that's good
those guys
timing.
have been doing, yeah, and they've been doing such great things. KG and the Gay Desert Guide there. It's really brought a lot of recognition to the area there.
Oh yeah, no, it's incredible the changes that have gone on there. But yeah, even for you, like you've got almost 9 years under your belt now, and anything fun that we have in store for us for the rest of the year and in the near future?
Rest of the year, I'm going to try to go to New York. I have not taken to New York yet. I've been to LA and Palm Springs. My very first year, because I did all audio interviews, I never really got to see anyone.
Yeah,
So after my first year, I went to LA and I hosted a big party at Mickey's, one of the gay bars down there, and
yeah,
invited all my guests from that year on and had about 30 or 40 of my guests for the first year. So that was a lot of fun.
yeah.
And then Palm Springs. And then I'm such a huge Broadway boy, Matt, that I really want to get my next time going to New York, find a space I can go to New York and bring on live some of my Broadway friends and
Yeah.
people that I've always wanted to talk to.
Well, that's only a 2-hour drive from me now, so I would love to see you out there.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'd love to have you down there. It's only 6.5 hours from Youngstown. I'm surprised I don't go there more often, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be exciting.
Excellent. Well, I love what you're doing, and I look forward to continuing to see. Because I mean, you are on all the platforms. You're on Spotify. You're on Apple Podcasts, and now, of course, with the video. So you've left no stone unturned.
Thank you, sir. Yes, we did video for the first time this year. So YouTube is a new adventure for us and Spotify
Yeah,
video. So
yeah.
all those places are a lot of fun now.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to checking out more and staying on top of everything you're working on, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, we appreciate everything that ILoveGay does. I mean, you guys are amazing over there, and thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it.
You got it. Good seeing you here.
Talk to you later.
So good.